Hello and welcome to Anden's channel, my channel, and also welcome to Anden's Opinion Corner. If you don't know what Anden's Opinion Corner is where I take your comments that you've sent to me with a topic or something or anything that you want me to share my opinion on, and then I'll do so. For today's video, I just came home and I see a lot of shit on the internet. Normally I just ignore it because hey, it's people on the internet, but today I thought could be a good time to make an Opinion Corner video. A few days ago, David Yates, the director for Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald, we had a question about Dumbledore and Dumbledore's sexuality because as we all know, Dumbledore is gay. And he said, and I quote, "Will Dumbledore's sexuality be a part of the story or will it once again, just like in the Harry Potter films and books, not be addressed? According to The Crimes of Grindelwald's director David Yates, this year's sequel, at least, will not directly reference Dumbledore's sexuality. Not explicitly," David Yates replied, "but I think all the fans are aware of that. He had a very intense relationship with Grindelwald when they were young men. They fell in love with each other's ideas, ideology, and each other." And then we have another quote from a while back with JK Rowling herself saying, "I can't tell you everything I would like to say because this is obviously a 5-part story, so there's a lot to unpack in that relationship. You will see Dumbledore as a younger man and quite a troubled man. He wasn't always the sage. We'll see him in the formative period of his life. As far as his sexuality is concerned, watch this space." So there I was, reading this a few days ago and finally being more excited for this movie. The way they handled the early 1900s in Fantastic Beasts, you know, it was like the wizard's world was complete opposite of the human world. Like everybody was accepted, you know, they had a black female president in the early 1900s, and that irked me, not because of the character but because of Dumbledore, because my fear for going into this was that Dumbledore was just going to be openly homosexual for some reason, and after reading this I'm so happy that he's not. Now obviously this made the internet very mad, which is why I'm talking about this, because today I see the backlash of all of these people on the internet being angry at JK Rowling and David Yates for saying this, for neglecting Dumbledore's sexuality. Even though they never state in this that they are neglecting it, they only say that he will obviously not be openly gay. Obviously we live in a day and age where everybody wants representation in their media. There are no gay people in Harry Potter, for instance, that we know of, you know, that we can actually see. So of course these people, they at least wanted to be acknowledged in the movie, and it being acknowledged, or maybe perhaps more hinted to in the movie, that's what I want. I want it to be maybe slightly hinted to, and then in the other movies, because by the way, there's gonna be 3 fucking more movies, so calm down. I'm not expecting them to go through all of Dumbledore and Grindelwald's history in this movie. No, I'm expecting that to be maybe the 3rd or the 4th movie. The fact that all of these people now, for some reason, want Dumbledore to be openly gay in the early 1900s, which, of course, I guess that's not really a thing to say just because of how opposite the wizarding world and the human world seem to be. Maybe being gay is completely okay. That's not the point. The point is, why would Dumbledore, as a character, be openly gay? If we try to apply like human real world logic, which is what I always did until the first Fantastic Beasts movie, obviously in the late 1800s being gay was not okay, which is why in my mind the whole Grindelwald and Dumbledore thing was something that Dumbledore kept for himself. Dumbledore as a character is one of the most secretive people in the Harry Potter universe series, you know, all of that. We as an audience still don't know everything about Dumbledore. He's an extremely secretive man, and the one time that we finally get to know more about Dumbledore is because of his brother telling us the story, not from Dumbledore himself. And I feel like taking away that great story point, the struggle of being different in that age, the struggle of maybe being gay in the early 1900s, what a good story point to add to Dumbledore's character. But for some reason, these people want Dumbledore to like walk around with a rainbow flag and like kissing all the guys. At least from their comments, they're just like, "How dare you neglect blah blah blah." I guess all of these people are just like, "Wow, what about my representation?" They're gonna do it. JK Rowling is such a liberal person. Have you seen her Twitter? They are going to address it, but they want to do it in a good way, which obviously, based on all of these comments being fucking harassing JK Rowling, obviously these people don't want it. These people want it to be flat out. These people want it to be like an episode of like a CW show of The Flash, of him like, "I'm gay, by the way." No, that's not Dumbledore. Dumbledore is this awesome character, and I want to see some struggle. If Grindelwald ever came up like in conversation, if Dumbledore and Noob were talking, Dumbledore would never be like, oh yes, we were in love. No, Grindelwald is an evil guy. He would obviously hide that from himself, at least until the third or fourth movie. Do you not want a good and interesting story about a homosexual person in the early 1900s and having a struggle about that so that we as an audience can feel like, wow, I guess it is actually better today. Wow. If he's just explicitly gay in the movie, that would be ruining Dumbledore's character for me. In my mind, I have this vision of what Dumbledore is. He's an extremely secretive person. He always keeps things to himself. You never know anything about Dumbledore unless it's other people speculating or talking about him. So I guess what I've been trying to say in this whole video, Dumbledore's sexuality is not explicitly going to be addressed in the second Fantastic Beasts movie. I don't know, I just find it so dumb. Why complain about everything? You are literally going to get what you want. Just not in this movie. Just not explicitly said. Why would you want it to be explicitly said? Isn't it so much better story-wise if it's not just flat out there? I don't know. These were my opinions about the fact that Dumbledore's sexuality will not be explicitly addressed in the second Fantastic Beasts movie, the second part of a 5-part series. What do you think? You probably don't even care one bit. I know this is such a little thing to rant about, but what are your opinions? Tell me them in the comment section down below. And hey, and if you have a topic for something that you want me to share my opinion on, tell me so in the comment section down below. And I love you all, and I see you guys whenever I see you guys next, and goodbye.